Hi, I'm Steve Thompson, president of Emery Thompson Machine, batch freezers that we've been building for 112 years. Today I am with Nate from Mami's powdered gelato mix. Now, it's not just a powdered mix. This is a gelato mix. This is a dairy-free ice cream. And this is going to be, without question, the largest new innovation in ice cream and frozen desserts that I've seen in my lifetime. Now, I have to preface, if you saw the previous email, I have so far called it Mami's. I've called it Mami's.
Previous video. On
previous video, yes. And it's actually called Mami's. And Nate, why don't you tell us how it got the name?
Sure. Well, there's not too much to the story, but the founder of the company, her nickname is Mami. It's, a term of endearment in Italian culture as well as Latin culture, so the nickname just kind of stuck, and then that became the name of the company. But we try not to get too offended if people say it however they want to say it. So
it's better than calling it "Hey You."
Exactly.
So Mami's is a good name.
As long as you go to mamisgelato.com, you can call it mamisgelato.com, whatever you want.
So we're going to make a dairy-free ice cream today.
That's right. We're going to show you how to make a dairy-free German chocolate ice cream.
Wow.
So it's going to be rich. This is dairy-free, but I want to emphasize that using our mixes, the Mami's Gelato dairy-free mixes here, you're going to get a rich product. It's going to have a decent fat percentage. It's going to, compared to sorbet, it's going to really feel creamy in the mouth for a mouthfeel.
And when you say a rich fat product, it doesn't have dairy in it. So where's the fat coming from?
The fat is only coming from coconut.
Wow.
Okay, so no added oils or anything of that nature. It's just the fat is coming from coconut. It's a dried mix though. So when you add the water, you're essentially hydrating it and turning it into a liquid mix. Now for this video, we've already measured the powder and added the water. I'm going to go ahead and blend it here in a second. And you'll see how easy it is. But the video that we did with the coffee flavor, we show in more detail how to actually go through the measuring and the preparation process. But yeah, it's an easy way to make something that's decadent, dairy-free, that's going to attract customers, especially as Steve talks about regularly, the millennial, the trendy, this big generation of people who want dairy-free. They also want gluten-free. You know the list. So we're going to help you get there. I'm going to go ahead and blend this up. We have some shredded coconut here that's ready to go. Actually, this is for 6 quarts, so I'm going to dump a little of this back.
Okay.
But this is going to turn it into like a German chocolate. So you're going to have the coconut flakes and the chocolate, and it's just going to be really good.
Now, do you sell the flakes too, or do you buy that?
No, I just picked this up at the grocery store.
So you can get it at any grocery store.
Yeah, coconut.
And it's called shredded coconut, or
this is
flakes.
These are called. This is called shredded coconut. I don't think they had flakes, but the flakes they had were sweetened. I didn't want sweetened. But you can find unsweetened flakes, unsweetened shredded. It's going to be probably flakes would be ideal, but since I just got it on the way here, I picked up some shredded coconut. Okay. But that being said, whatever you want to use will work. It will just give you some of that texture, the German chocolate texture. So we're going to add that. While we're mixing in there. So first, what I'm blending right now is just our chocolate powdered mix with water added. I'm going to blend this up.
Now, while Nate was doing that, getting that ready, I went ahead and sanitized the machine to kill any bacteria in it. Once you start making product, let's say you start at 9 o'clock in the morning, you can sanitize once. And as long as you keep making product all day long, don't take a 2-hour lunch break, you don't have to re-sanitize, just as long as you don't take the door off and reach in there. The machine will remain sterile for as long as you want to make product. So those of you who may have thought that you had to re-sanitize between every batch, no, you don't. In fact, you don't even have to rinse out between every batch if you plan your production right. You might make vanilla, followed by strawberry, followed by Bordeaux cherry, followed by black raspberry. Each one of them is a fruit flavor and a little bit darker. And so there's very little left in the machine, but the darker flavor will cover over, the Bordeaux cherry is going to cover over strawberry because it's a darker and it's also a fruit. And I'm very big on buying my flavors in the supermarket. Fresh frozen, so I have consistency, or specialty flavors like peach. I might do when Jersey peaches are in season in September. You might do just blueberries in June up in when Wisconsin, blueberries are in season, so you're going to have a lot of fun with your flavors. Maybe keep some standard flavors, but rotating in a flavor of the week using social media to advertise it.
Okay, I'm just measuring 4 quarts here. I made a bit of a bigger batch, but we figured out that 4 quarts is about the right size for the 6-quart machine.
That's right.
As far as overrun.
Yeah.
All right, and I just wanted to mention, in the last video, I used this larger immersion blender. You can use a small immersion blender, like the one I was just using. However, if you're doing larger quantities, or if you're trying to be more efficient and make it faster, you're going to want something a little bit bigger. This is the RoboCoupe MP450. It's a 450 watt immersion blender, which is kind of the standard for what you would call a commercial immersion blender, so from Waring or Burmixer or RoboCoupe. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
No, that's good to know.
So now we have the 4 quarts. This is a little more than 4 quarts, so I won't dump the whole thing in.
No, you can put it all in.
Okay.
It's just at the 4-liter mark.
Okay, great. So we'll go ahead and do that now.
Make sure the gate's closed, because I just had finished sanitizing. And sometimes you leave the gate open, you're pouring in, why is it going all over the floor? That Emery Thompson is leaking. And you've left the gate open.
That's operator error. That's the word we call that.
Close the gate.
Okay, gate is closed. Let's see here. Oops. Now you can see this is pretty thick. Again, this is a rich coconut-based mix here. So it's not a sorbet. It's going to be satisfying. The customers who come in and they want something dairy-free, but that's still indulgent. It's a dessert. It's a treat. It's not just a little, it's not just a little sorbet. It's something that's going to kind of have teeth to it. So we've got the mix in there. I'm going to add a little bit out because I overshot a little bit with the mix.
Okay.
So I think that's a good amount of mix to use.
Okay, I would put the cover on right there.
Down. All right.
And then you're using the infinite overrun. Let's do it on homemade.
All right. Begin. Homemade. Start. All right, easy as that.
Now turn on the refrigeration. And I'm going to set a timer for about 6 minutes, 7 minutes, so that we come back and take a look at it.
This one might take a little bit longer than
a little longer, so let's set it for, well, we can always readjust it.
That's
so
true.
We'll do 7.
Okay, right now. And we want to add the coconut flakes now as well?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add the coconut flakes, or the shredded coconut. I'm also not going to add all of this, I don't think. Okay, that's going to be pretty good.
Now, if this was a fruit flavor, you could take whole fruit, whole bananas, and put them right into the machine. No other machine on the market can you do that because their cylinders and their drive systems are not strong enough to do that. You can put whole nuts in. You can put whole candies in. I even make what the Italians call stracciatella.
Yeah, stracciatella.
Stracciatella, which is a fancy chocolate chip ice cream.
Yep.
The way I do it, instead of buying a stracciatella chocolate that hardens on cold impact, I take a block of enrobling chocolate, melt it down in a double boiler, and my machine is so strong that I can literally pour it right in, and the hot chocolate hits the cold dairy non-dairy product on this one, and it shatters into irregular sized pieces.
Yeah.
So when you're eating it, you might get a piece of chocolate candy, that big or a little one. It's a better quality chocolate. It's a lot of fun because it's so different.
And that is the stracciatella. That essentially is what makes the stracciatella a stracciatella. Is that it starts off as a liquid like that.
We mentioned about social media before. It's become extremely important in our industry. And I'll give you a fun example. A lady wrote into a blog called Ice Cream Folks that I subscribe to, and she was saying that Tuesday night is her slowest night of the year. Just awful. Might as well not even be there, but of course I have to be there.
Yeah.
Just terrible. So one of our people participating wrote in and said, well, I have the same problem, but I found a cure for it. I use social media to advertise on Thursday night a contest. It's open to ladies only. Ladies only contest, and you don't have to come up with a formula, you just have to come up with the basic ingredients of what you would like to make an ice cream out of. We'll pick the winner on Sunday night, and also starting to wane night, so people are interested to find out who won.
Yeah.
And then the person who won, the lady who won, can bring 5 of her friends Tuesday night, the slowest night of the week, to make that product in the store.
There you go.
No men, only the ladies. But the men come because they've got the children at home.
That's
so the
right.
men come, the children come. Harry next door comes with his wife. She just gets this mass of people coming to see what they're going to make. And then when it's finished, they come out and they serve it to everybody.
Yeah.
And that becomes their flavor of the week. So she doesn't have to invent a flavor of the week. She's taken care of her slowest night of the week, and she's having a lot of fun with locals and doing it using social media.
That's fantastic. And social media in general, the flavors, the idea of having new flavors every week, or crowdsourced flavors, which is kind of what you're talking about. Basically, having that constant variety is a great way to get people talking about your brand, your store on social media. So, for instance, the more you can do to expand your potential offerings, the more potential flavors you have to kind of stimulate that interest and that social media buzz. So that if you say, hey, this week, why don't we try something with a coconut base? Suggest me a flavor to make with the coconut base. There you go. You just doubled your possible flavors. You have dairy one week and coconut the next. That just comes to mind for obvious reasons, but
absolutely,
it is critical though. It is critical to engage and always have something new, to stand out from the competition.
One of the things I like about your product is I've always said when using dairy products, I hope it's a decent analogy, but if you were a baker, you wouldn't have a wheat field out back,
right?
And you wouldn't mill your own wheat,
of course,
and into flour. You would buy flour from a reputable company, and then the creativity comes in your kitchen.
Absolutely.
Where you're adding the different ingredients to make a key lime pie better than anybody else.
Exactly.
Or a baba rum, or any special, or even just cookies. It's your love of the food that comes out to make the specialty items.
That's right.
Start with a good flour. Rather than me have to go out and source a 55-gallon drum of coconut water from the Philippines and try getting that through customs or even through the union. Well, I'm at a slow speed. I see you. We were going to take this up to homemade.
Oh, okay.
Rather than me try to get that 55-gallon drum, which probably weighs 200 pounds, 300 pounds,
easily
delivered to my place in Brooksville, Florida. You have done it all. Your company are the expert scientists. You have done the research to find the best sources of coconut.
That's right.
And blend it in such a way that what I showed on the other tape was my dairy-free ice cream, which was delicious, but it was hard as a rock at 0 degrees. And your product was just about ready to scoop.
That's right. Even at 0 degrees, it's scoopable. It's soft and scoopable.
So when we take it up to 6 degrees Fahrenheit, which is the scooping temperature for dairy ice creams, it means that, Jack, if you can get over here to this little cabinet, this is just a small version of a dipping cabinet, and these are set at 6 degrees Fahrenheit. This is the perfect temperature for scooping dairy ice creams, and now the dairy-free ice cream scoops in the exact same cabinet. So before your product, I was having to tell people, it's going to be worth your while to have dairy-free ice cream, vegan ice cream, but you're going to have to go spend $2,500 on a separate cabinet. This way now, it's going to fit right into their store. They can add it tonight. And I was quite surprised. That bag, your minimum order is only 4 of those bags.
That's right,
That's not a huge minimum order.
Yeah, I mean, we ship nationwide in 50-pound cases, so it's 4 of these bags, makes 50 pounds total. This bag will give you about 4.5 gallons of liquid once you've added the water. And it's exactly what you were saying, Steve. I like the analogy of the baker, because we're trying to make, to use that analogy, we're making the flour. So, our our goal is to make the purest, highest quality product to use as a base for your shop. So as you can see, you know, this mix right here, this is our pure white coconut powder mix. It has a very clean taste. You're gonna taste the coconut, but it's a very clean coconut taste. And then you're gonna be able to take your creativity wherever you want to go.
The taste is unbelievable. It's just so good. And I wouldn't say that if I didn't mean it. I've made some miserable products in my lifetime. This is ready. Watch how fast this comes out.
There you go. So you can see the little coconut.
Oh yeah, you can see the little pieces in there. That's great. Can you get this on the side camera, Jack, or I'll turn to this side?
We have to do a close-up. Because yeah, people, that's going to draw some attention there. It's like, oh, German chocolate. Oh wow, vegan, dairy-free German chocolate.
And there's going to be 6 liters coming up.
And you can see it comes out thick. It comes, you know, it's a substantial product.
It took less time than I expected.
There you go.
But you know, making ice creams of any type is really the same as baking. When I watch Paula bake a pie or a cake, she sets the timer for 24 minutes, it goes off, and she goes over to the oven and she sticks a fork in it to see if it's ready. Yep. If it's not ready, she gives it a couple more minutes. Other people have tried to mechanize a batch freezer, and they're missing the basic science of it, that the higher the sugar content of a product, the longer the freezing time. Right. So where vanilla might be 7 minutes, strawberries bring sweetness to the ice cream.
Absolutely.
The freezing time might be 9 minutes. So I don't want to build you a machine that shuts off every single time at 7 minutes and makes perfect vanilla. What about everything else?
Exactly.
So I'm not saying it's an art or a science. I know the Italians go into great detail, and they're wearing the zitouk and the whole outfit and the spectrograph and all that. As you can see here, we're just simple and having fun. And it's just a matter of taking a look in and say, hey, that looks good. So here we go.
Would you say that the chocolate froze a bit faster than the coffee because of the higher fat content in the chocolate?
Probably, yes.
That would be my guess.
Jack, which camera?
Either or, Steve.
All right, how about that one?
That looks good. Let me zoom in quick.
All right. Look how thick that is, too.
You can go right in.
That's beautiful.
There you go.
Oh, man. That's ready to serve.
There you go.
Isn't that great?
Yum.
Hey, let's get some spoons and try it.
Let's not just look at it. Thank you very much. Don't mind if I do.
Oh, that's good. You know, nothing goes unnoticed when you do these videos. And my head tech advisor took a sample and then came back and double dipped. Well, it was in a smaller container. I'll see to it tonight. I think he probably did it on purpose. He'll get that whole container for lunch.
There you go.
But you don't do that when you're on live TV.
That's okay, though.
That's all right. But that was a great product. So in the next video, we're going to make Oreo cookie.
Yeah, that's what we're going to do. That's our last flavor for the day, will be the cookies and cream.
And I've come up with 2 terms that I use when making ice cream, which I call fruit flavor and fruit identity. Well, instead of fruit, we're going to use cookies.
That's right.
And so because of my machine and the strength of it, I can put a half a bag or so, whatever I want, of cookies right into the machine. Let the machine grind them up, and then if you were blindfolded and taste it, you'd say, yep, that's Oreo cookie. Because for every particle of the coconut, there's a particle of cookie next to it. You take the blindfold off, though, and you go, oh, it's a beautiful color, but I don't see any cookies.
Yeah.
So I'm going to break cookies. I'm going to snap them between my fingers and break them into 4 pieces, and I'm going to shake them in as it's coming out. So I have the cookie flavor and the cookie identity.
Okay, yes.
This is the way we put Haagen-Dazs and Ben & Jerry into business, was making ice cream just that way. Today they're a commercial ice cream. They have a machine that makes 1,000 gallons every 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And they have a $40,000 machine that just injects flavor.
Yep.
So when they make vanilla ice cream, or they make strawberry ice cream, it's really vanilla ice cream with strawberries injected into it. When we use it on our batch freezer, the only one that you can do this, again, for every particle of vanilla, there's a particle of flavor next to it.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to do next, and we'll see you on the other side.
All right. Thanks a lot.